On the night of May 6th and early morning of May 7th, 2025, India launched a swift and high-intensity military operation named Operation Sindhur. This was a direct and calculated response to a brutal terrorist attack in Pahalgam that left 26 people dead. The perpetrators were linked to Pakistan-based terror outfits, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba. The operation lasted just 23 minutes, but the impact sent ripples across South Asia and the international diplomatic community. Indian precision strikes reportedly targeted terrorist launch pads and infrastructure deep within Pakistan-administered Kashmir and some parts of mainland Pakistan. Immediately, a question arose in foreign policy circles. Was India isolated after this strike? Let's break it down. First, India did not act irrationally or without warning. The operation followed a major terror attack on its soil. In such situations, sovereign nations are expected to respond, and India did just that. Its actions were quick, limited in scope, and specifically targeted terror infrastructure. India made it clear it wasn't attacking the Pakistani military or civilians, but the global response was cautious. The United States, which had maintained strong relations with both India and Pakistan, played the role of a mediator. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio quickly engaged in back-channel diplomacy. Within 3 days, by May 10th, a ceasefire was brokered. This effort showed that the U.S. wanted to de-escalate, not confront. Importantly, America did not condemn India. That silence, in diplomatic terms, meant understanding, if not outright support. Russia, India's long-standing defense ally, issued a neutral call for peace. Moscow avoided siding openly with India, but did not denounce the operation either. Behind closed doors, Russia continued arms deals and defense cooperation with India, signaling that strategic relations remained unaffected. France, Israel, and Japan also refrained from criticism. In fact, Israeli media openly praised the precision of India's strike strategy, comparing it to Israel's own counter-terror responses. On the other hand, Pakistan strongly condemned the operation, calling it an act of aggression and raising the issue in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. But even there, Gulf countries like the UAE and Saudi Arabia stopped short of directly opposing India. Instead, they issued broad calls for peace and regional stability. China, Pakistan's closest ally, maintained a carefully worded statement. It urged restraint from both sides but notably avoided labeling India as the aggressor. This was in line with Beijing's strategy of balancing regional interests without getting drawn into direct conflict. So, was India isolated? Not at all. Isolation means a loss of diplomatic support, breakdown of alliances, and strong international opposition. But India experienced none of that. Instead, what unfolded was a global attempt to cool tensions, without blaming India for defending its citizens. Yes, India had to walk a tightrope. It had to defend its national security while keeping its image as a responsible regional power. But it succeeded. In fact, the operation highlighted India's capabilities: military, strategic, and diplomatic. And it showcased the country's growing influence in shaping its narrative globally. To summarize, Operation Sindhur was bold, precise, and swift. The world watched closely. Some urged peace, but none walked away from India. If anything, India came out of it not isolated but stronger, more respected, and strategically relevant.